Mom, what are you doing?
I'm trying to count the dust. Have you ever tried to count dust before? The Lord said to Abram after Lot had parted from him, "Lift up your eyes from where you are. All the land that you see I will give to you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted." That's an interesting blessing. Let's read more from the beginning of this week's Parsha. The Lord had said to Abram, "Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." Who called Abram? Yes, the Lord. And what did he call him to do? To leave his land. And why? So that all peoples of the earth would be blessed. That's cool. So what does this mean to be called? Adonai calls us, just like he called Abraham. Well, let's look. Joshua says that one of the ways that Adonai calls us is he calls us out of idolatry. Joshua 24, verse 2. Joshua said to all the people, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Long ago, your forefathers, including Terah, the father of Abraham and Nahor, lived beyond the river and worshipped other gods. But I took your father Abraham from the land beyond the river and led him throughout Canaan and gave him many descendants." He calls us out of idolatry. Deuteronomy tells us he calls us out of slavery. Deuteronomy 5:15 says, "Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm." So what are we called out of? We are called out of idolatry and out of slavery. What are we called into? We're called into relationship with God. Let's see what Jeremiah says. Jeremiah 30, verse 22 says, "So you will be my people, and I will be your God." We're also called into holiness. Leviticus 11:48 says, "I am the Lord who brought you up out of Egypt to be your God. Therefore, be holy, because I am holy." And we're also called into salvation. 1 Timothy 2:9 says, "Who has saved us and called us to a holy life, not because of anything we have done, but because of his own purpose and grace. This grace was given to us in Messiah Yeshua from the beginning of time." So we are called out of slavery and idolatry. We are called into holiness and salvation and a relationship with God. But why? What is the purpose? We are called for the purpose. Exodus 19 verse 6 tells us that although the whole earth is mine, you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. So that is our purpose. We are supposed to be a holy nation and a kingdom of priests. Ephesians 5 verse 1 tells us more. It says, "Be imitators of God. Therefore, as dearly loved children, and live a life of love, just as Messiah Yeshua loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and a sacrifice to God." So we are called to be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. We're called to be imitators of God. And Yeshua says in Matthew chapter 28 to be disciple-making disciples. He says, "Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I will be with you." So those are the reasons why he calls us. And when we answer his call and enter relationship with him into his holiness, into his salvation, for the purpose of making disciples, we also understand that this is hard work. It's hard, and sometimes it's challenging, and sometimes maybe we feel a little bit scared and lonely. Do you think Abram felt a little like that when he left his land and his family to go to a new place that God was showing him? Yes, we can feel that way, and it can be challenging, but we also know that when we walk in relationship with God, in obedience to him, we are blessed and we are joyful. And we're having adventures with him while we're walking in relationship, and that is awesome. And more than anything, he wants us to be fruitful for him. So Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up." So to be fruitful, we need to not give up. So if we come back to our Parsha, God tells Abram that he will make his descendants like the dust of the earth. And then later, he gives this promise to Isaac. He says, "I will give all these lands and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and will give them all these lands, and through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed." So with Abraham, the dust of the earth, and with Isaac, the stars of the sky. Shabbat Shalom.